Okay. So, welcome everyone to today's Hyperledger Identus maintainer call. As usual, remember the antitrust policy notice and as well to adhere to the Hyperledger Community Code of Conduct. For today, we have a relatively short agenda. As usual, we are going to do introductions, share a few updates, very small things. I added a section for today, call it the news, just to share a few interesting things that I have seen around the SSI space. I think we have one GitHub issue to talk about. And then, of course, we have the Q&A or AMA section. So for introductions, I think we have Peter. You haven't been here for a while. Maybe you want to introduce yourself.
That's a great idea.
Hi, I'm Pete. I work for IO. I am the content director, and that's who I am. I've been around for a couple years since 2021, and handed the stewardship of the community to Fayad, who's done an amazing job. Thank you, Fayad. Um, and yeah, that's kind of what I do. There's some cool things going on with the documentation that we can probably get to later. But
Yeah, we can talk about that during the Q&A, maybe.
yep.
And share that. So I'm not sure if anyone else that is new to the call. I think not. Yeah, the rest is for usual people. So yeah, let's get started. Just a reminder that we have the identus.io domain redirecting to the main Identus GitHub repository. So the idea here is that you are going to find very quickly the links to all the relevant things that people normally is looking for. Here are the links to the quick start guide, the documentation, project roadmap that we need to update. Here are the links to the repositories in case you want to dig into that. Some instructions on how to get involved with the project, how to report a documentation mistake, how to raise bugs. So all the links are listed here. So if you are looking for anything related to Identus, just go to identus.io and that will land you here. We also have the links for our Discord channel, links to the calendar where you can get invitations for well, pretty much any kind of meeting that we have. Also links to the recordings and everything else. For today, we added a new section into here that is called community projects. So basically, if you come here and you open this link, it will send you to this small wiki page where we are listing some projects that the community has developed that are related to Identus. So probably we will continue adding stuff here along the way as we see more things getting built with Identus. So yeah, just for you to be aware that if you are looking for what is the community doing with Hyperledger Identus, you can come here to this link and check it out. Other thing, well, we had the Redivo conference last week during the weekend. We had the participation of David Harding that is with us today. So there are some recordings that are very nice. David participated in hosted a panel with the presence of Charles Hoskinson, Mike Ward, Daniela Barbosa, and John Bauer from our community. I think that John is with us today as well. So I am going to paste the links into the chat in case you want to see the recordings of those presentations. So there is the panel with these people. Also, David did a very good presentation about SSI. And there is also a fireside between David and my work about the topic of SSI. Let's see what else. Yeah, these are some topics that I have seen around the last weeks related to SSI that I think is interesting to share with our community as well for awareness sake. One of them is that there is an effort currently ongoing about trying to improve the standardization of the DIT method. I will put the link of the article as well in the chat. So one interesting thing is that now the different bodies that work in the matters of defining DITs and credentials decided to join efforts together with the purpose of having a better standardization of DIT methods. Probably you are aware that DIT methods, probably there are already like maybe 200 different ones. So apparently there is an ongoing initiative looking forward to standardize that even further. So yeah, I will paste the link in a while. The nice thing is that this is a coordinated effort between the Centralized Identity Foundation, True Software IP, and some of the working groups from the W3C. So usually there are these like parallel trends that work on this standardization, and this time looks like they are going to be working together. Hopefully this will lead to something that is more interoperable, because that's has always been a challenge in the SSI space. And I believe that the problem originates from the DITs itself, like the DIT methods are quite a bit pretty much all over the place. So there is that initiative. They have this letter of intent where they are being a little bit more specific of what they are trying to achieve. And they also provide a link if you want to be part of the effort or be informed. So yeah, that's one thing that is going on. Other thing that I guess this is going to be probably the new buzzword in the SSI space in a while, well, in the future. So there is this paper that was released by the Decentralized Identity Foundation about the concept of personhood credentials. Um, it looks pretty much like some sort of KYC process, but more general. So yeah, they created this concept. You can see that is pretty much familiar. What they are proposing pretty much looks like a KYC process, but instead of KYC is a personhood process to create a unique credential that identifies a person as a person. So yeah, there is a full paper. I haven't read the paper yet, but I read the summary, and I think probably this is going to be a topic in the SSI space in the upcoming months, because well, usually it's like that. Sometimes someone release a paper and then it becomes a topic. Interesting things here is that the research involved people from OpenAI, from Harvard, from MIT, and others. So I think Microsoft was involved as well, and Spruce ID. So I think it's going to be interesting to keep an eye on how this topic evolves in the future. I will put the link in the chat as well. And the other one that is also interesting is from Gartner. So Gartner periodically releases this hype cycle report every now and then. The thing that caused some interesting commentaries in LinkedIn is that they labeled zero knowledge proofs as obsolete before Plateau. So that obviously sparked quite a lot of conversations in LinkedIn with the heavy hitters in SSI, people like Sam Smith and Timothy Roof were doing interesting comments about this viewpoint from Gartner. The things that Gartner publish usually are relevant because in the end, decision makers take into consideration this stuff when they are evaluating technologies. So that is also interesting to check out. You can take a look at this report as well. It has some interesting information, and I also put here the link to one of the discussions that is happening on LinkedIn, so you can see the different viewpoints from other experts in the SSI. Oops, it was logged out. But you can open the link and see the discussion is very interesting and provides a lot of insight of what is the experts thinking about this matter. So I'm going to copy these links in the chat in case anyone wants to look at that, if you're interested. And yeah, GitHub issues, I think the only one that we had outstanding from the last session was this one about the contributing file. And it looks like has already been closed. Which one is this? Oh, I think I got the wrong link. Let me see. This one was the one that I wanted to ask about. So yeah, it was an inquiry about John Bauer about the contributing .md files, if they were going to be standardized or I don't know, maybe add more clarity to them. But it looks like there is no additional comments in here. I don't know, maybe Yuri, if you have something to add to this conversation.
Yep. So we moved the part of rules for making the commits to the contribution MD guide in the Identus repository. And it would be nice to receive a feedback from community. And we are considering two options of distribution of this file. Just copy paste this contribution MD to other repositories and make it similar everywhere, or just make a reference from all other repositories to this main Identus contribution MD file. So both options are good from my point of view, and please provide anything if anything else should be added to this contribution MD, or the items that are unclear for you, because we really want you to start contributing to the project, and it shouldn't be a blocker if you don't know how to define the convention for the commit message. And it's not something that we invented. We are following the conventional commits that helps us to define a clear changelog and define the next version based on the metadata in each commit. So it's pretty convenient. You don't really miss the let's say the right next version for your microservice or library. Yes, John.
Hi, Yuri. Yeah, so does that mean that you guys would like the same contributing rules to be applied to all of the repos, like the SDKs as well? I think that was my main question, is just
got it.
Standardizing on which rule set we use.
I got it. It was also important part because I didn't get all the context from this ticket. Yes, we are planning to apply all similar rules to all the repositories. So all repositories should have DSO, GPG signature, conventional commits, and PR linters and other checks that will protect us from some mistakes, and will make our work pretty straightforward.
Yuri, if you let me add something for the SDKs have been using this semantic release approach forever. So currently all our repositories follow this semantic release process.
No, it's absolutely key to switch from semantic release to release it or any other tools in libraries. I'm not against this. I'm asking about conventional commits. It's another convention to define the commits in the similar way. I will share.
Well, sorry, Yuri. What I wanted to say is that we are already applying this to all the SDKs and Apollo and everywhere. So it's like kind of our standard across all the repositories, just to clarify that part.
Yes, it's time to turn on lights.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Yeah, no, just please update the ticket with the resolution and close it if you are.
We will confirm with Javier that similar rules are applied to all the repositories.
Okay, thanks. So the AMA and Q&A, just a reminder, we have this channel in the Atala Discord, call it are you seeing my Discord? Yes.
Yes.
So we have this channel that Fayad created, Ask Us Anything. So the idea of this channel is if you have a question that you will want to raise during this meeting, you can send a question beforehand. I mean, doesn't mean that you need to do always that, but if it's, I don't know, maybe a complex technical question or something like that, maybe you would like to give us the heads up by submitting the question before the meeting, so we can be sure that the proper people is around to answer during the session. So yeah, we have that in there. It's going to be a channel that is going to be available always. So yeah, the idea is that if you desire to do so, you can submit your questions beforehand. So we are sure that the proper people will be in the meeting to reply to your specific topic. Just a reminder of the existence of the channel. And yeah, the conversation is open for anyone who wants to ask or give us any feedback. Someone has the hand raised. Eric?
Yeah, I finally found a shortcut key on Zoom to get the hand after several months, but okay. First, I wanted to thank you for the news. I think it's really good for us to share all the news. It's really it's a good way for everybody to be kept up to date. I have a question. I didn't know there was this kind of channel, but okay, I'm going to ask it here. So we're all using DITCOM as part of Identus, creating connections, but I did not find a way to make use of DITCOM to share things privately between two peers without these things being verifiable credentials. So if I want to share private information, how do I do this? Is there an API for this? It doesn't seem that there is anything like, I'm sure DITCOM can do it, but it doesn't seem it's put at the level of Identus.
So right now, let me answer. Yeah, exactly. I was going to reply the same thing. So we have, DITCOM has several protocols. Then one of the protocols is called basic message, which is, yeah, as the name says, it's just a basic message. It has a JSON body that you can put any information inside. And potentially that can be used to share any type of data.
So how do I do it?
It's just a JSON structure. I will reference you to the right link.
Okay. Okay. So maybe what I'll do is I put also a little summary. I mean, there's 2 lines in the ask us anything so that everybody can see it then. Okay, thank you.
Peter?
Yeah. So, couple things. So on the documentation site, so I know there has been quite a few people that were saying that they couldn't get the quick start guide to work. It works now. So the quick start guide has been updated. The other thing that you'll probably notice is that we have added or replaced, I should say, the branding to all Hyperledger Identus. There are a couple things that are still a little off. I'm trying to track them down. Like at the very bottom of the page, the footer has that. Yeah. I'm trying to track that down to see where that actually can be replaced at. But we will get the rest of it fixed. But overall, it has been updated to the Hyperledger Identus branding. And the other thing is that regarding the videos that were from this weekend, I will forewarn you that the panel video, the audio quality is terrible. I mean, it's really bad. So I actually have talked to the guys at Rare. They're going to allow me to, I have an audio engineering background, so they're going to allow me to take them, fix them, and then repost them on YouTube. So I will be in the process of working on that. That way the quality is good. And we can share that when those are available. But if you want to watch them now, obviously you're welcome to, but just be forewarned that the audio is not great. So that's
Yeah,
all
I guess we can repost the links in the announcement channel once you have the new links.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. But that's all I got.
Cool. Thank you. Anyone else?
It's funny. It's not related, but it is totally true that Peter once did that with one of the demos that I was doing for the community. I don't know if you guys remember. And he did such a brilliant job. He completely removed any surrounding noise, and I was really impressed.
I remember that. Yeah, you had that truck that kept going around in the background.
Yes. And it's maybe going to come in the next 5 minutes again. But
Yeah. It's a little magic, but it works. We'll get it fixed and get it uploaded.
it's basically like applying noise canceling, right, to the audio, like quickly explain.
Yeah, so that's one thing is so there's a filter that you can use to apply to remove any background noises. You have to be a little careful with it because you can start removing actual voices. But then you use compression, limiting, and all these other things to actually get the volume to where it's at a level to where you can actually hear it. Because if anybody goes and tries to watch them, you're probably going to have to crank your volume up, probably to 3/4 of the way up, just so you can hear it. It's that quiet. So just be forewarned that it is very, very quiet. Like John said, it was really loud in the room. There is quite a bit of background noise too, but we'll get all that fixed and get that uploaded.
Awesome. Is there anything else in the chat? Maybe any question? I think we don't have questions in the chat. Yeah, I don't know, Fayad, do you have anything to add?
No, but in terms of the AMAs, we will be sending a reminder out one day after the maintainer call. So tomorrow you guys will probably get a reminder in Discord, and then yeah, feel free to submit any questions that you guys do want answered at the next maintainer and contributor call or at the community outreach.
Okay, awesome. So yes, David?
So John, is Roberto here? John Bauer?
Yeah, no, he's not. He's on vacation this week.
Oh, he's
and
on
he-
vacation this
I know
week.
he wanted to
Okay.
raise, I know he wanted to raise some issues.
Yeah, there was one in particular that he raised with me that I wanted to bring to the crowd. Apparently, when you spin up a node, one of the trace messages that comes up is there's a DID that is whitelisted, and it's consistent, the same DID every time. So I'm wondering if anybody has any information on that.
Yeah, I guess he said every time he spins up the node, the Prism node, he gets a log message saying did being whitelisted, something like that.
But are we spinning up the node using the different cryptographic keys, or?
Yeah, now we're beyond my pay grade. We'll probably have to get Roberto to submit something during the week.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. Any other question, comment, criticism, feedback, improvement, suggestion? Okay, looks like there are no more additional comments. If it's that so, thank you very much for joining today. And yeah, see you next week in the outreach call, and in 2 weeks
Thank you,
in
everybody.
the next maintainer call.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you,
you,
guys.
guys.
Bye.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye bye.